Hi, this is Kelly from paperbeadrollers.com, and today I'm going to answer a question that I get all the time in the Paper Bead Fanatics Facebook group. Can I make money selling paper beads? Yes. The short answer is yes, you absolutely can. However, there are 4 critical things that you need to keep in mind when you're starting any handmade business, and I'm going to tell you what they are right now. Critical thing number 1 to making money at selling your handmade craft items is that you have to sell online. Craft shows and consignment stores used to be a great way to sell your paper beads. But even when you're not in the middle of a global pandemic, selling online is way more lucrative. I mean, really, it's just common sense. If you have your items in a store or at a craft show, you have to wait for people to walk by in order to be interested in purchasing them. But if you have your items online, you are open 24/7 to literally anyone in the world buying your items. It takes your audience from a teeny tiny little audience to the whole world. Of course, it's going to be more lucrative. So you really do have to sell online, even though it can feel a little intimidating or scary or like you just don't know what you're doing. Well, the next couple of strategies are going to help you with that. But before we move on to critical step number 2, we're going to talk about online selling platforms. The first place that people go when they think they want to buy a handmade item is Etsy.com. Etsy is an online marketplace with a reputation for quality handmade goods. Another place you should think about selling is on Amazon. Now, I know Amazon isn't the first place that people think of when they think about buying something handmade, but Amazon has an entire program to help crafters sell their handmade items. Surprisingly, it's called Amazon Handmade. This program makes it simple for you to sell handmade, one-of-a-kind items on the largest e-commerce platform in the world. Now, both Etsy and Amazon are marketplaces. That means that a company owns the website and you pay a fee to have a storefront and sell your items to their customers. Marketplaces are great if you don't have the technology or you don't want to deal with the technology to have your own website. However, you will pay for it in fees. So a good portion of your revenue is going to go towards paying the marketplace. If you want to keep a little bit more of that revenue in your pocket, having your own website is probably the way to go. Now, there are a lot of website providers out there. Some of them have really snazzy commercials and seem like they're really cool. But in my opinion, WordPress is the only way to go. WordPress is a free platform open to everybody. Now, there are 2 ways to get a WordPress website. The company that maintains WordPress is Automatic, and they have a scaled down version of WordPress that you can get online. They host it on their servers. They help you if you have problems. It makes things a lot easier from a technical standpoint. You can get a free website, but to sell e-commerce, you have to pay. There is a monthly fee for the e-commerce edition if you choose that route on WordPress.com. Now, if you want to keep almost all of the money in your pocket, the way to go is a full WordPress website. Now, how you get a full WordPress website is you have to sign up with a website hosting provider. I personally use and recommend SiteGround. Now, I have used a lot of web hosts over the years for both clients and myself when I was a web designer. SiteGround is by far the absolute best for performance and customer service. I absolutely love them, and I have all of my sites hosted with them. What you'll do is go to siteground.com and sign up for a package. Now, there's usually a promotional package which gets you your first year pretty cheap, and then the price goes up. So do pay attention to what the price is going to go up to. You pay by the year. You'll load up the free WooCommerce plugin, which is the e-commerce platform for WordPress, and you're ready to go. Now, configuring a full WordPress website does take a little bit of technical savvy, but as long as you're willing to learn and watch some video tutorials, you should be great. The second critical thing you need to do to have a successful handmade product business is you need to charge enough. Pricing is something that intimidates just about everybody who first starts their own business. However, you can't just pull prices out of the air or base them on what other people are charging and expect to make good money. Now, I have a formula that is going to help you figure out what you really need to charge in order to be successful in the business side of things. Now, let's look at these terms. Cost of goods is anything you put into the price of the item. So raw materials that you purchase to make the item, but it includes whatever you need to get that product ready to be taken by the customer. Manual labor is the amount of time spent into making that product, whether it's your time or whether you've hired people to help you. Okay. Let's say that I'm going to sell a paper bead necklace. Now, to make the necklace, I use some recycled paper. I used a little bit of glaze, which I paid for, and then I used some stringing materials and a clasp. And my total cost for all of that is $2. Now, I also have a little baggie that I put my jewelry in when I mail it off, and I have a little card that I put with it. So we're going to call that $2 for all of that. Now, I spent 30 minutes making this necklace. I want to make $14 an hour, so that's $7 worth of labor. So it's $2 cost of goods plus $7 manual labor. But that's not what we actually charge, because if I charge $9, okay, I would pay myself and I would cover my materials, but what about my website? What about any advertising I'm doing? What about all the other costs that are involved in my business? I need to put money in there to cover those things as well. So here's what we do. Take the cost of your item times 4, and that will equal your sales price. So in this case, if my necklace costs me $9 to create, I would charge $36 when I sell it. Pretty good, right? Now, what if the going price for a necklace like what I created is less than $36? Well, you really have two choices there. Number one, you need to make sure that the selling price you can get for this necklace works with this formula. So maybe you need to up your game a little bit in the style of necklace that you created so that it will sell for $36. But that's only one option. The other option is that you can lower your multiplier. So we were using a multiplier times 4, and that is the ideal multiplier to make sure that you make enough money to be successful in your business. However, not every item you sell has to be a 4 multiplier. You could take it down to a 3 multiplier. So this necklace, $9 times 3, we would sell it for $27. You could even take it down to a 2 times multiplier. So $9 times 2 means we would sell this necklace for $18. And maybe that's a little better for your marketplace. Now, if every product that you sell is a 2 times multiplier, you're not going to make very much money in your business. But if you have a nice mix across the board of 2, 3, and 4 times multiplier products, you're going to do pretty well. So take a look at that. When you're creating the designs that you're going to sell in your business, make sure that you keep in mind how much you can charge for the item and that the materials you're using, the cost and the time that you're putting into it are going to equal into a price that you can actually charge for that item. The third critical thing that you need to have a successful handmade business is you need to choose the target audience and make what they love. The secret to success for any small business really is having a target customer or an audience that loves what they make and they buy it and they share it with their friends. It's customer loyalty. Now, how do you create customer loyalty? Well, first you have to have, like I said, but secondly, you need to see your customers not as a means to making money, but as real people who have needs that you can fill. So for example, if you like making hip, trendy paper bead jewelry, then you need to find a target customer that absolutely loves that stuff so that you can make them look and feel good when they wear your jewelry. If you prefer to make sophisticated, high-end designs, then go out there, look at what's trending, and create similar designs of your own that are going to fit in with that customer and make them feel great about buying a sustainable jewelry product from you. Now, maybe it sounds boring to stick with just one type of craft all the time, but you can get creative within that. Look at those trends. Make a trend of your own. Create some different things, but always keep in mind that what you create needs to appeal to that target audience that you chose. Think of new ways to amaze and delight them with your handmade creations. And now the fourth critical thing to having a successful handmade business, you're gonna have to learn Marketing 101. Now, I know, you're a maker, not a marketer. That's not why you went into business. But marketing is how you'll bring customers into the door to buy the beautiful things that you're making. When you have a new handmade product business, you generally don't have a big marketing budget, which means that free social media is the key. Identify 2 social media platforms where your target audience hangs out and focus on just those 2. Don't try to do everything at once. Look at what works on those 2 platforms, and then you can expand later. For now, create eye-catching content that makes your customer click. Now, I love the saying, you can't move what you don't measure. Data is the key to being efficient in your marketing. You have to understand how your customers are finding you and how they behave once they get to your store in order to optimize on those opportunities. If you're selling on Etsy, you need to pay attention to the stats area. Etsy gives you a ton of information on how your customer found you and how they're acting when they're in your store. If you're selling from your own website, make sure that you set up a free Google Analytics account. Now, this is going to give you so much data about your users, you are not even going to know what to do with half of it, but it will help you understand, where are they coming from? Do they come through Pinterest? Do they come through YouTube? Do they come from Facebook? What do they look at when they're on your site? And how many of those people actually buy something? Google Analytics is a gold mine of data about your customers and what they're doing on your site. So sign up, it's completely free. Just Google Analytics and everything will come up for you. When you know the path that your purchasers are following, then you can optimize that path and funnel more people into it. But you have to have the data before you can know what to do. So there's your 4 critical things that you need to do to have a successful handmade products business. Number 1, you've got to sell online. Number 2, you've got to charge enough for your products. Number 3, choose a target customer and make what they love. And number 4, learn marketing 101. If your entrepreneurial spirit is telling you to sell your handmade items, you should go for it. With a little bit of strategy and some perseverance, you'll have a successful handmade product business in no time. Join me over on Facebook in Paper Bead Fanatics for more tips like this. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again soon. Until then, happy rolling.